Hi everyone, happy Sunday and welcome to today's edition of Gist with Princess. I'm glad to be live today again and I want to thank you all for joining in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Today is an interesting day. Happy Sunday once again, everyone, and thank you for joining. Okay. It feels good to be here again today. My name is Princess, and I'm the host for Gist with Princess, and I'm a customer support worker remotely and an admission representative. I talk a lot about job opportunities remotely. So if you check my Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter handles, what you always see are job opportunities on how you can work remotely. Okay? If this is something you like, okay, it's something that interests you, stick around my timeline. Okay, so I'd like to run through everything we did last week. Today is Sunday, so it's already a new week. So I'd like to give a brief rundown of everything we did last week. We had, what is it called? CV revamp class. It was very interesting and exciting. So if you would like to be a part of that class for the next edition, just send me a DM or an email, and a slot will be kept aside for you. Okay? All right. So today we're going to be talking about a whole lot. We have an interesting guest in our midst, and let me just pin down the topic of today. Before she comes, okay, we have an interesting person that will be coming to talk to us today about everything about her life, her business. She's somebody I respect so much, and like I always say, this program is all about people who we have noticed their track record when it has to do with success. Okay, we have seen their track record, we have seen what they've been doing, and we can say, okay, this person didn't just make it overnight. All right, so this is why we normally hold this program. So if you're also out there and you feel your story will inspire young people out there, because the main aim of this program is to make sure that our young people do not see success as something you can just, pluck on the road, pick it up on the street, it's on some tree, or in some sacrifices you do. No. Success has procedure. Every business you see doing well today, there were times when the chips were down, okay? And this is why we started Gist with Princess, to make young people understand that your dreams are valid. All you just need is consistency, right? All you just need is consistency, and you keep pushing, and somehow doing the right thing, having the right mentors, and you'll be fine. Okay. All right. So on a lighter note, I want to appreciate everyone who has joined in, and everyone who attended all the series of programs I announced here last Sunday. If people tried their best, and we want to say thank you. All right, so before now, what have you been doing with everything we've been sharing on this Gist with Princess series? What have you been able to do? What have you been able to achieve with everything we have been, talking about here? It is one thing to hear. If you keep hearing and you're not doing anything about it, then there is really no need for you to keep hearing, okay? So that you don't just be a collection center where things are dumped and you don't make use of them. You're meant to impact, you're meant to exhibit everything you have learned. If not everything you have learned, at least 3/4 of the things you have learned, 3/4 of the things you have heard. okay? And this is why this is where learning makes sense. If you're only learning and you're not implementing, then you're really not learning. You're just gathering data, okay, and putting it together. All right. So that being established, let me touch a little bit on a topic before our guest comes in. Within the week or last week, I talked about being the best at what you do. And I want to stress a little bit on that. A lot of us have very beautiful potentials. A lot of us are doing so well in whatever it is we find our hands to do. But we still have issues with communicating how well we do these things to a new eye. What do I mean by a new eye? A new candidate, a new client, a new customer, which are in the group of prospective people. These people don't know you, they are yet to know you. So, how do you sell yourself? Someone who hasn't known how good you are, let's take for example in teaching, okay? If someone doesn't know you're a very good teacher, how are you able to convince the person on a test meet that your word is that your child is in safe hands if I'm to teach this child? I always say, make it possible in a way that you can sell yourself in 60 seconds. It's very, very important. Build a 60 seconds profile, be it voice notes, be it video, be it write-up, okay? Build a short profile that can sell you in 60 seconds. Make it in a way that 60 seconds will worth it, right? So maybe you are a copywriter. Build up your profile, your proposal profile in a way that it will sell you in 60 seconds. There is nothing that beats that, okay? So that you don't keep losing people, not because you're not good, but because you weren't able to sell yourself in the shortest time available or allocated for that interview or for that trial, okay? Build up something that will enable you sell yourself in the shortest time. I can't overstress this. The truth is, generally the economy is tense, okay? It's recession in the world, in most part of the world, US, UK. I mean, inflation is almost in all parts of the world. So if someone is looking for somebody to deliver a service to the person doesn't have all time. The person does not have, all day to really waste or something looking for somebody to do a particular thing. No, the person doesn't have that. HRs don't have that time. Okay, so this is the reason why your profile, your advertisement must be as swift and straight to the point as possible. If someone gives you an assignment, I want to see your trial, whatever. Nobody is saying you should sell the secret of your business. Not at all. Nobody is saying that. Okay? What we are saying is, present those things that would make you distant from others. Present those things that will make you distant from others. Okay? Things that when people see, they'll be like, okay, among all the people that submitted proposals or that submitted this or that submitted that, this person understands what it is we want. This person knows his onions, and then the person goes for you. All right? So, this is, in a very short while, our guest arrives. Okay, I think our guest is here. Okay, so please, this week or this year, in the remaining part of your career, as you look out for pitching those tents, make sure that you know what you're doing. Your 60 seconds is valid and it makes sense. Okay. So our guest is here, and I've added her. I hope. Please, if you can hear me, let me know so that I wouldn't be having. Okay. Oh
my God. That's Thank you so much for
I'm so
coming.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I had other engagements. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I understand. Like for you to even make out time to come with people, if you know this woman, let me not blow my trumpet for her. Let's allow her, tell us whom she is. Thank you so much. Like I cannot appreciate you for making out time to come for this. In fact, every guest that makes out time to come for this show, because I understand how Sundays are for business people. At times you want to rest or you want to use it to go through your sales for the week, and then you still find time to come around. I want to just say a very big thank you personally to you, and then to every other person for making out time to always be here. It means a lot to me. So welcome the famous Lady P. Please don't you should not ask me anything. You should just go to her Facebook page. Like she's filled with grace and glamour. Yes, that's how to put it. Grace, glamour. How what other word should I use? Hey, people that know how to speak English, people should give me words. Charisma, thank you. She's filled with anything you can think of that when you look at as a Christian to start with, and then doing well in business, you want to be like that person. That is whom you will see. From her facial expression self, you should understand what I'm talking
Thank
about.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So please introduce yourself
I'm
and you
so
have
happy
the floor.
to be here. Even before I even started your questions, I just want to say thank you. And I think I should say this here already. You are an inspiration to many of us. I think that how whoever I have become is also as a result of the footprints that we saw when we, during our undergraduate days in APSU. I heard so much about you, so much. You Sadly, let me say sadly, you left before I could come in, and but when I came in, I heard so much about you. You're a woman of impact and value, and that is why when your invitation came, it was an honor to be on this call with you. So I take this
Thank
as a
you.
huge privilege to be here with you, and
Oh,
I want to
thank
thank
you.
you, thank
Thank
you, ma.
you.
We
Thank
see all you
you.
do. We
Thank
see all you do. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is so encouraging. Thank you so much. Like, thank you. Okay, so blow us away. Like, I wish I could exhaust everything in you today, but I'll remain small for next time. So go ahead.
Okay. My name is Precious. My name is Precious Uzuamaka Mark Ude, fondly called Lady P. I am the fourth amongst five children, second daughter, second granddaughter. I'm a graduate of mass communication, Abia State University, currently running another master's program. I'm an event planner. I own Prima Concepts. I'm a digital media analyst as well, strategic communicator as well. I'm also a personal branding consultant. I am big on helping a lot of young ladies who really want to take their personal branding game very seriously this year. So that is what I do. These are the things that I do for a living. And above all, I am really passionate about taking the gospel to the ends of the earth. I'm big on ministry and just seeing that God is proud. God is
Hi.
proud.
Hi, God. Like, guys, did you hear that line? God is proud, honestly. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. Okay, so what inspired you to start up the Mark concept?
Okay, thank you. I don't think I get to say this often. Maybe I've
Okay.
said it once or twice, but a lot of people have asked me this question, and I'm always like, okay, don't worry, one day I would talk about it. So, my life has not always been like this. I didn't go into life with the mindset of being a CEO. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a CEO, owning a business. There's also absolutely nothing wrong working for someone, going 9 to 5. It just shows that you're a person of value and somebody's willing to pay for the value that you're willing to offer. So 9 to 5, there's absolutely nothing wrong. I had a 9 to 5 job a few years ago before I started my business. But how PMAC concept started, so a lot of people who might have not seen me in person, I'm actually very tall. I'm a 5'9". I'm a 5'9". I'm almost a 6. Yeah, I'm a 5'9", 5'7", 5'9". So, so growing up, not now that we're getting old. Growing up, then they would always. I had friends who would always, try to encourage me to, oh, babe, put your height to good use. Oh, be a model, be an air hostess, work in the cabin crew, do something. A lot of people did not think that. A lot of people were of the opinion that I was wasting my height and maybe my beauty, because I feel like I was more beautiful then. Not now. I'm humble now. But then I had a lot of people do something, and all that. So I started working as an usher for events.
Okay.
I went and I met a young lady, then who had a very big ushering agency, and we were just working. She would call me because I think that I might not have studied hospitality management in school, but I think that I just have a knack. I have a knack for excellence, perfection, and coordination. So having all of this, it was just very easy for me to look out for guests, look out for every detail, in an event and all that. So I joined as an usher. I started going for jobs. At the time, they were paying me very little. They would give me, my pay was 8,000 naira. And 8,000 is nothing compared to the transportation fee down there. Transportation fee, toll and fro cost about 6,000. So I'm left with just 2,000 naira. Like 2,000 naira to stand for hours. We're not talking of feeding, because sometimes you don't eat until the event is over, and sometimes the event will be over, there's no food anymore. Hey! Not now that a lot of business owners, people that have ushering agencies have stepped up the game. Then even you're an usher who are paying you to appear and do your job and leave. They don't care about how you come, how you go. And then in Lagos, it was very unsafe. I was just trying to be very careful with my life and all that. So this happened for a long time. That's how I was making my money. So I knew that, okay, when I stand for a few hours, I have 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira to feed. And then I'll buy data to call my friends, then social media and all that. So that was how I was working at. Because a lot of ladies, I'm sorry to say, but I feel like there are lots of things that you can do.
Sure.
There are a lot of things that you can do. Some people allow this whole beauty thing, this whole physique thing to get into their head. Before you know it, they start selling their bodies. I had such an option. In fact, that would have been the quickest way to make money. How are you like this and you have only 2,000 naira? So you can imagine the devil positioned you with a lot of choices. Life is a game of choices. And the devil is constantly giving you that option. You're wasting your time. 2,000 naira when you can make 50K by just giving somebody, making somebody happy for a weekend. I had such offers like that. Like I said, because growing up then, I felt like, there was just something very charming, about me. I don't know what it was, that a lot of people would be like, oh, meet me here, meet me there. But it wasn't, that's not how I was raised. This is not, and I'm not talking of spirituality now. That was not how I was raised. I think that my mother did a very good job. Kudos to her. If you're watching this, Mrs. Rosalind Mark, I love you. I love you. I love you so much, Mom, and I say thank you. publicly. Thank you. So she was very strict with her girls, and we're just two girls. She was very strict with us. And then not just her being strict, there were laid down principles that we lived by. Away from just talking, we saw her live out such a life. We could tell where mommy is. We know that mommy, okay, she's either in church, at work, or at home. A triangular kind of life.
Yeah.
So you, as the daughter, you just have to continue there. You have the choice to break even, and you know what, do whatever you can to make quick money. And then, ladies, we have a lot of needs. We have a lot of needs. We need to make our hair. We need to look good, buy our cosmetics and all that. Going for those ushering gigs, I have to look good. I have to make my hair. I have to get a cologne. I have to dress well. And I'm very big on modesty, right? Very, very big on my dressing. But because of, as a result of where I worked, the ushering outfits, the outfits they usually would give us were not dresses that I was so comfortable in.
Yes.
But I just had to. You see, they give us tight-fitted dresses that will bring out your curves. They'll give you show your off shoulders, show me your back, slit cleavages. You are never comfortable, or you just find yourself, okay, just a few more hours and I'm out of here. So I did this for a long time. Now to the real story where the whole shift came. One fateful day, I had an event on the island. I was paid 7,000 naira for that job. Transportation to that place was 6,500 to and fro. I had only 500 naira. 500 naira was all I gained to look good, stand and say, "Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're welcome." 500 naira was all I gained. So after the events that day, they made me the event coordinator. So that's how events are. Everybody has ranks. So we know every usher, you see at events, they have the coordinators, they have managers, and they have the event planner. And then we have the girl. So they made me the event coordinator for that very event. So as a coordinator, you're supposed to look over the girls, you're supposed to watch over everyone and coordinate every other thing. The boss, your madam, will just oversee and relate and liaise with the client. So after the event, it was a beautiful event and everything went well. They put me on the VIP session. So I was really focusing on the dignitaries at the event. It was a big event. I was focusing on the dignitaries and the big men and women there. So I noticed that there was a particular man who kept looking at my direction. I became very uncomfortable, and I'm always big on, I'm just here for work. And then, if you are raised in a strict home where your mom will tell you, please, can I be real here? Where your mom will tell you, if a man gets told her like this, the level, if they just thought like you're pregnant, she made us so afraid. Like, so you don't want to lose guard, you don't want to be caught fresh. Okay, prim and proper, do the right thing, and all that. So that was how I was living my life. So relationship at that time, I knew that it was going to cost me a lot. It was a lot of work, and then I had baggages from my past. Pardon my English, baggages that I needed to take away before, relationships started coming in. So I was thinking on, how do I make money? How do I support my family, my parents, and all that? That was how I started. So this man kept looking at my direction. I knew he was a big man, he was a high-class profile man. But I kept looking away. I became very uncomfortable. And he's married. It was when his wedding band, obviously. After event, he didn't see me again. I just missed. He didn't see me again. So as I was packing my bag, about to leave, very fast, I was about to go change into my multi. So I was about to leave. I just ensured all the girls were left. And sometimes at that time, girls were doing so so much to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So after events like that, where we make only 500 naira, they will get contacts. Sometimes those guests become their contacts. They go for the weekend. It's already a weekend, so they just go and spend the entire weekend with them, make those men happy and all. So it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
That was how this man finally, partly was driving a white Lexus Jeep. So as I was packing my bag, about to run to the bathroom to change, a young man walked up to me and was like, "Hello." I said, "Hi." And then he was like, "Otumba will call you. Chairman will call you. Otumba." So I was like, "Who is Otumba?" He now turned and pointed at the Jeep. So I was like, "I don't know any Otumba." I was like, "My boss is calling you." I said, "Calling me for what?" He said, "He wants to see you." I was very reluctant. I already knew what it was about. I already knew. This one is not, I knew, say, this man. So I left. I went. When I got there, the man, why not? Now they'll sit down in the comfort of their, hello,
This for you.
So he just, put down his glass and then he was like, "How are you?" I told him, "I'm fine. What's your name?" I think I gave him one name like that. I think it was Modesta. One funny name. I think that girls have the names they give people. There's a name that you just give somebody if you don't want to give them your real name. Just
Yes.
I gave him my stage name. So he was like, "Oh, you're very beautiful. I watched how you were working diligently. You did so lovely, and you're so fine. I'd like to take you out for the weekend if you don't mind. And it comes with good pay." Blah. He was just talking. So I was like, I started smiling. I said, "Wow, only me, all of these things." He said, "Yes, and more." I said, "Wow, only me." He said, "Yes. What would you, how much just to spend the weekend?" Yeah, he was like, "Spend the weekend with me. I will do this. I will put you Modesta, right?" I said, "Yes, sir." I think that's the name I told him. So, I was very modest. So I told him, "Sir, with all due respect, I'm sorry, but I can't. I have a family who will need my attention for the weekend and I don't do this." He was like, "I'm willing to offer you, how much do you want?" At that time, I think he said 50K or so. And this was on a Friday. So I was going to spend Friday night, Saturday night. He said, "You bring me back to my house on Sunday." So I said, "Sir." So I begged him, I said, "I'm so sorry, sir. I don't do such. I have to go home to my family. I've been away and I'm very tired." I was not rude. I just told him off. He was still trying to, tell me, "Oh, do this, give me all these incentives." So I said, "I need to hurry now. It's getting late. So will you excuse me?" Before he could even talk, I just walked out. Went, changed my mom to carry my bag, left. So when I got home that night, I pondered. This has happened not once, not twice, several times. So those thoughts came again. This is what happened to you again. Is this how you want to continue living with 500 naira? The devil came again. Are you sure you're serious in this life? The devil started reminding me, started painting pictures. See your friend. And at that time, truly, at that time, the kind of friends that I had, they were going to Paris, like they were going to charge their phones. Dubai, Paris, like they were traveling. These girls were traveling out. So, and then these girls would be like, "You said Wi-Fi like this. You can join us." And so I had a choice. So I'm like, "Oh no, I can't do this." I was like, "I shall not just or go back or just find a way and survive." So I started praying about it. I went back to God. I went back to God. I started praying. I said, "I want to do ministry. I have a purpose, but I need money."
Exactly.
I need money. Money is sweet.
Hey, I love this
That was
decency. Oh
How
my
that was
God.
how I started thinking, you know, I think I was in my final year. I think I was in my final, or I just finished from school. I don't really remember because then I was when I come back from school, I will go resume at the events. That's how I was making money, saving up to go back to school and all that. So that was how one day I decided to pray and fast and retreat. God started speaking to me. God started speaking to me. So PMA concept was bettered in a place of prayer. It did not come as a result of I did not know what to do with life. I prayed it into possibilities. And then the Holy Spirit told me, why not change the game? This is something that you're really passionate about. You're a detailed person. You're an event person. You're a coordinator. You like to plan things. In the hostel, I was hostel governor. On campus, I really wanted to do politics. I wanted to do SUG, but there was sort of a restriction because I also wanted to do ministry. I was on campus. I was also a mama. All those things they normally call us mama or papa, coco. So, but on campus as a hostel governor, I had to, use such influence so that platform built me. So we're
Yeah.
planning whole days, hostel parties and all of that. In the midst of all of these things, there was a consciousness that you are not just doing this as a secular girl, you're doing this to
It's true.
point them back to God. So when the Holy Spirit started telling me, oh, you can do this, you're an event person, you're a planner, you're a coordinator, you talk, you do, start up your own firm, start up your ushering agency. But now, the watchword modesty. This same modesty is a value, is a
Yeah.
is value. Modesty is something that cannot be bought with
It's
price.
true. It's true.
Not just in your actions or your words, in your conduct, in your dressing. I wanted to change the game. I wanted to do something different because ushers there at that time were permit my word, were sluts.
Yes.
They were prostitutes at that time. Once we're done with the event, they have a hookup somewhere.
It's
So
true.
that wasn't something that I wanted to do. So when the Holy Spirit gave me, so I started my PMAX concept started as an ushering agency.
Yeah, I remember.
So how that started was I have a lot of I don't have a lot of friends, but I know a lot of people. I'm very careful to call people friends.
Okay.
So I'm very, I just have a lot of people around, but it doesn't mean they're friends. So I just gathered a few ladies. I told them, see what God is saying. I want to start up my own ushering agency. How do you help? So immediately I got a flyer, I got a name, got a logo, I wrote it. PMAC processes. So coincidentally, my name is Precious Mark. But the actual meaning of that name is PMAC, the precious mark, leaving a mark in the lives of people that you come in contact with. When your guests have a conversation or interact with you, something oozes out of you and rubs off on them. The precious mark of God. So that was the whole idea. It wasn't because it was my name, it's just a coincidence that it is my name. And I cannot hide it. So that was how I started. I started with one lady. She told her friend called her friend so like that was a chain. We were 8 of us. We got our first gig when we got our first gig in 2018. Our first job was in 2018. My first job ever as a business owner was in 2018, and we're paid. I took the smallest part of the money. I gave everybody the biggest, share. I took the smallest. We got another referral. So I started, trying to get content out, started applying the skills that I had learned in a 9 to 5 job because I was also a comms strategist. started getting content, started posting. I was like, Precious, nobody would believe in this vision more than you. Carry this thing on your head. I started posting every day. And it's not easy to be running a business and you're posting, you're the one posting, you're the one writing the copies, you're the one looking for people, customers, clients, you're the one organizing the team. It was so much work. And then you still have home. You have home front. So that's how I started with 8 of us. We got our first gig, we got the second one. We did this for a long time. The team started expanding. We became 10.
Wow.
5 chicks, so this one will be 5 young ladies who also believe in what I so. So the thing about looking for a team, you have to look for people who align with your value and your belief system. Because if I make an open call, I'll get a lot of ladies who want to join. But I needed people who were discerning and disciplined, who would not get angry or get upset or feel insecure when I give them a very long dress. I was looking for ladies who were not insecure about their bodies. So when I give you a long dress, you know that you don't need to open anywhere to sell. You don't need to, it doesn't need to be so tight to sell yourself. You just need to be who you are. And whoever needs to find you or meet you will find you. So that was how my team started expanding. I started getting gigs. So from there, we moved over to full event planning.
Wow.
It was very easy because my mother is also an event planner. So it was easy to step into her shoes and I filled a vacuum. So what I did was, she was an event planner in her time, right?
Okay.
And then she's not so tech savvy. So there are just a lot of key elements that she didn't pay attention to. So what I did was I leveraged that. I leveraged on all of the things that she had built. And then I digitally plugged myself in, amplified, promoted everything. And it just came to me. So the PMA concept moved from being an ushering outfit to being a full event management agency where we don't just do ushering, we do decorations, cake making, what's it called? Catering services and also rental services. So I have a bridal showroom here in Lagos, Nigeria, where brides come to rent wedding gowns and all that, wedding bouquet, and all that. And then I also have another showroom where we have our decoration items. So that is even where I make most of my profits as a business owner, because if you are into decoration or decor, events decor, if you don't have the items or the materials, you will spend more.
Yes.
When you have them, that's when you get your profit, because you have these things. You don't have to go rent for someone else. So people come rent from me and all that. So that's how we have grown. We'll be turning 5 in August. That was a long story. I don't share it often, but that's how I started my business. Telling friends. I leverage on relationships with people. I leverage on that. And most importantly, I didn't leave the ministry of the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit was speaking to me. I had a choice to either join my friends and be partying in Paris, in London, or just stay and stay with my purpose, because there's a purpose, there's a reason for your existence.
Sure.
I would have struggled partying with my friends. I would have struggled, meeting other people, trying to find out who I am in life and all that. But ever since God gave me a clear, cut out perspective of what I needed to do at that time, that was all that there was to it. And that was all that changed the game. That was all that changed the game. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. So yeah, that's how I started.
Like, when I don't know how to say this, but honestly, when I see young people nowadays that maybe you started a business 1 month ago, and the next thing you're running to my inbox, my business is not moving. The first question I always ask is, when did you start? And then you hear the person saying a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months. I just laugh because yes, because I don't know where they got this delusion. Honestly, this is the brain behind this thing you see me doing every Sunday, Gist with Princess. The burden became so much that you see young people. Yes, Nigerian economy is so tense that a whole lot of people want to make mama proud. But there is no cheap success anywhere. There is no cheap success anywhere. Even if you come from a very wealthy home, it's even more difficult to maintain wealth because you don't know the vision behind what brought that family to where it is today. So you can imagine someone seeing your story today, seeing how big your organization has grown, and the person is like, okay, event planning is where the money is now. Oh yeah, let's open our own. And then you go and open yours and you start facing challenges. You now start wondering, what kind of God is this person serving? Is my own God different or something? And it makes me wonder, is it that we don't really know what we want, or we are pressured to think that life is easy, right? Now you can imagine sustaining yourself with 500 naira for how long? You had options. It's not like you didn't have. I mean, when you were telling that story, I could totally relate. I played politics in school. I could honestly relate. Part of the issues I had in school was the fact that I refused to recruit girls for the big men. I won't do it. Do you understand? So you can imagine someone seeing your success today, and then the person feels, okay, there's money in event making, so let's all go in without knowing the passion or the reason for which one went into that business. These are part of the challenges that young people are going through. So I want to say a very big thank you again on that part for being very, very realistic, to tell your story. Okay, so what were the challenges you faced when you started newly? Apart from, the single challenges you had, the dress, wearing parts, when you started Kima proper, what were part of the challenges you had, especially getting jobs, your appearance? Did people find it difficult to, allow your workers dress the way you presented them?
Yeah. So, I mean, you've already started answering the question.
I can imagine.
So, I realized 5 years later that everybody has a unique purpose and calling. And when God calls you, it will never be a conference call. When He speaks to you, He's talking to you. So it's now left for you to run with what He has said. Even though sometimes it's always sketchy. God doesn't give you all the details in one conversation. He lets you know, He gives you a hint and wants you to come back to Him so that you always depend on Him for further directions. So when I started that business, because I came from the modesty perspective, if you see the dresses that they were wearing, even if you're a man, continue, you wear yourself, because, and these ladies, some of them never used to pick up or even look nice. I was big on personal hygiene, Yes, they're fine. I was much more on smell fresh, smell nice. Make
Yes.
your breath is okay, because you're going to be interacting with people, so you cannot come and be looking funny and smelling funny and we are perceiving funny things. So that was how. So coming from a modesty angle, it was quite difficult to sell my brand, because the event is a very big industry. What
Yes.
sells there sometimes is what the eyes is being fed. You what the eyes is being fed, and a lot of ladies are of the opinion that in the event industry or the ushering industry, you would not really go far if you don't use what you have to get what you want.
That's the line.
You have to come with a strategy of sex appeal They don't believe that you can be well covered up and somebody can work. That was the struggle. Maybe it was the dress code, but I don't want to think that modesty is something that will go out of style. I think that is something that if you should look at this in detail, you're well covered up. In fact, gives you more respect, because the people that are all exposed, it's anyhow people that talks to them. But when you're well covered up, you know what you're doing, you attract the kind of people that you want. So modesty is sort of a magnet that attracts what you need. So that was one of the things I struggled with, how to sell my brand, the modest. You remember, it was not an events brand, it was an ushering agency. So how do I sell confidence? How do I sell self-esteem well covered up? How do I sell character? How do I sell modesty in its rawest form? That was one of the things it was a major challenge, because when we even take pictures, if I wear turtleneck, you said you go ask, how far now? Waiting there for this company. Then as we progressed, we started loosening up a bit, started wearing just very conventional dresses, and looking prim and proper and all that. So that is one. The second thing was trust. Because as a young lady without experience, people want to see what you have done. They want to, and we're in a country where things are quite hard. If somebody has to give out their money, it has to be value 101%. No jokes. So having to have get people trust me with their money was a challenge. Seeing that I had not even done this business up to a year. You say you want to be paying your ushers 10,000 to come and stand. Because at that time, that was what I was charging. 10,000, what are they even come? What else? So if you're collecting 10,000, then it has to come with happy ending. They have to follow us home or something else. So having to get people trust you with their money, what is the value that you're bringing to the table? They can as well just call the bridal train to come and usher. But how do you present your brand? How do you make your brand so appealing in the eyes of a lot of people, and they realize that every event needs ushers. Every event needs ushers and all that. So that was how I was struggling to promote my business. It was, man, I was the CEO, I was the worker, I was the social media manager, I was the customer care representative, I was the marketing officer, I was the one doing everything. So it was such a struggle, and we survived. So these three things were one of my biggest challenges. But when we overcame them, people started seeing. And then, so my advice, I'm going to give my challenges and give my recommendations so that we don't come back to this. So hearing, these are the challenges that I faced as a business owner starting out at that time. What I would encourage everyone who has a business or just launched out a business, the first thing you need to understand is nobody will believe in your vision more than you.
It's true. It's
how
true.
Like that vision is how others will take it. You have to take it. You have to personalize it. This is your thing. This one is no longer a 9 to 5. I'm working for somebody so I can afford to do anyhow. This is your thing. So however you position yourself, position your brand, is how other people will even relate with your brand. The second thing is expectations. Don't expect too much. Yes, I knew a lot of people, but those people were not helpful in pushing my business. So don't expect that when you post well made up face on social media, people will share your post. Why should they share your post? Why should I refer people? I have other things to do with your time, with my time. So I had a lot of people around me, but very few friends. The friends are the ones who will sell your brand, who will refer you, who will be there for you. They might not have all the skills to. My friends were not working with me. Right. So another thing is I differentiated my business from my friendship circle.
Very important.
I don't do,
Very important.
and till date, it is what helps me. If I have a very strong relationship with you, I will value such a relationship. Because I've realized in life, how to know who a person is when you live with them, when when you travel with them, and when money is involved. That's when you know who someone really is. Live with that person, travel with that person, when money is involved. So I know that having to get my friends in the mix of business, money would be involved.
Yeah.
And then the cliche of see finish.
Because these are ladies who grew up with me, who know me in and out, who know what I am, who know where I live, the kind of family I came out from.
There's a tendency that knowingly or unknowingly, they might be dismissive. They might not really work according to plan. Some of them might be they can put up lackadaisical attitude towards work, and you don't need such. That doesn't mean that they're not your friends. They are your friends, but they might not give the right approach that you need in selling this business. So differentiate business, friendship, pleasure. There's time for everything. So these friends, when I have my jobs, my gigs, I let them know, hey, now this so and so person I use you. Babes, we'll see later. I give them. I send them, content, they help me promote, they help me, but they are never in the mix of my business. I don't tell them, oh, come and follow me, oh, let us go here. You stand like this. Because if I have a very good friend, I tell the friend, madam, why you just coming by this time? Me and her will quarrel. Before you know it, you start bringing personal issues. I'll be repeated. I might not be able to scold you as I should if you misbehave. And when it comes to business, I'm a different person entirely, right? I'm very careful because people are paying for value. They are not paying for familiarity. It's different. They're not paying to shine teeth. And that's why a lot of people are struggling, because you are a business owner, you are giving, you are selling fruits, you're selling cake. You don't know where your profit is. You don't know why, because people are taking free of charge from you. You don't know where to draw the line. Family is family, friendship is friendship, but business is business.
Exactly.
Business is business, and business is what pays the bills, not shining teeth.
Not sharing
when I'm down to
video.
nothing, when I come to you, you might not be able to help me. So let us love up on our friendship and focus on this business. So that was what helped me all those years, having to it's been crazy. It's been crazy. I lost a lot of friends because they couldn't understand my work culture.
It's
true. I lost a lot of them, and I was fine. I was fine with it because I was the one who got called, spoke to, and I'm the one who has the blueprint of what this business should and shouldn't do. So if I give you laid down principles, I've only given you a third-party definition of what should happen. But the original definition, God already prepared. I'm the only one that knows it. And that is why I have to carry this business and run with it, just the way God told me. So these three things I told you were the major challenges that I had starting out. So when I overcame them, I became fine. I was able to stand up. I was good.
Exactly.
People started trusting me. People started giving me referrals, started coming in, and then content, the power of social. You see this social media. Anybody that tells me to use social media, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, because social media has caused me more good than harm. Social media, quote and unquote, has made me who I am, quote and unquote. I have leveraged opportunities here, and somehow, I have a community of followers, whether they are principalities and powers or not. I don't even want to know, but I see that the impact you have on the lives of a lot of people is showing and is playing out. So there's every tendency that they are willing to push your brand. Why? Because you're a woman of value, of impact. They know that this woman will not fall hands. Let me share this testimony. I plan to post it this week. There's a lady on this page, on my page. Her name is, I'm going to call her out. Her name is Ruth Elias. I have never met you before. If you're watching, I have never met you before. And you know, me and you will never see ourselves in this life. You're far away in the north, in Nigeria, maybe in Kaduna or wherever. This lady posted my flyer on her WhatsApp and all her social media pages. A lady reached out to her and said, do you know this lady in particular? Because she was running a promo. Ruth said, her name is Lady P. She's a good woman. I don't know Ruth. She doesn't even know me from anywhere. She was talking about me like me and her. We sat down in one joint the other day and we're gisting. The lady wants to get married. Now, the testimony is the lady's wedding is coming up this Saturday, the 11th. This lady who is getting married on the 11th never saw me, has never seen me before. This lady paid me in full few weeks in December. She paid me in full. Why? A recommendation from her friend came. And this friend blew my trumpet like she has seen me. We don't have a relationship. When the bride was telling me, I was like, what? Somebody I've never seen. Man, was crazy. So that was when I said, you know what? Consistency. Every business owner listening to me. I told somebody this afternoon in church that you'll be surprised that a lot of people are seeing your content. You think they are not seeing it? Stay on it. If you post a picture or your flyer or whatever you do, and you have only one like, stay there. A day will come when you're counting 100 likes, 1,000 likes, and a lot of reaction and a lot of engagement on that post. Consistency is the deal breaker. Is what it changes. A game changing strategy. That's what a lot of people don't know. People want Jehovah sharp ministerial pastor to lay hands on. Business is not sharp. It comes with a lot of risks, and you must be willing to pay the price. And one of the prices is consistency. Being consistent is a lot of work because there are some days you're not feeling up to it. There are some days you don't. Nobody is even engaging with my post. I'm not posting. There are some days when you don't feel like it. There are some days when you get backlash. I've come under fire several times on this platform. Several times. I've come under backlash. I've come under a lot of people have disagreed with my points of view. But at the same time, it did not change what I know. It did not change who I am. Yes, there are positive criticism and there are negatives. They're the ones that you're supposed to listen to and work on yourself and adjust. While there are some that they are definitely coming from a hater and someone who is really envious of you, you know.
And you will know.
So that is it. Consistency is for me. So I think I've really dwelt on this number 2 question. Let's move to the next question.
In fact, you've covered everything. You've covered everything. So finally, how do you mix church activities with, because I know you're not even less on anyone from what I see online, okay? You're not, I won't say on the weighing balance there is anyone suffering, if I should use that line. So how do you merge church activities with your business?
So I get to hear this question a lot of times. So I think the most important thing is priority.
Okay.
And priority, being able to prioritize is a skill. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone, can prioritize. You know what comes first. And thankfully, my relationship with God, nothing comes in between it. So it was very easy. I know that the one who has given me life, given me wisdom, given me clients, and has helped me build this brand should come first. Above money. Above money. He should come first. So having that in mind, And then your relationship with God just draws you closer. I'm relating with God as a lover, not as God. Sometimes if God thing, is so big a name that if your care is not taken, you just think he's one person that doesn't move, doesn't talk, doesn't have feelings. But my perspective of relating with God as a lover has brought it a bit closer. So the way I would treat my husband or someone I'm in a romantic relationship, not just a casual, someone who I'm in love with, is how I would treat God. How I want to hear his voice, how I want to speak to him every now and then. If you want to speak to somebody every now and then, you have to always be and make out time for the person every now and then. So I know that this is my business. If this my lover, who is God, doesn't give me life, doesn't give me opportunities, doesn't open my eyes to see opportunities, I'm not sure I'll be where I am today. So and then I'm also in the workforce in church. I'm also in the workforce in church. So doing ministry, I'm a chorist, I'm singing, doing my thing, you know. So serving God was very easy, and very interesting. So it's something that I always want to do over and over. So I have choir rehearsal and I have a job. So I have choir rehearsal and I have a job. What do I do? You do the both. You do the both. It's never comfortable for me. Never. I promise you. There are Saturdays I'm doing a setup overnight from Friday to the next morning, Saturday, and I have choir rehearsals for 8 a.m. and my event starts at 12. What do I do? Very simple. People in your choir might know what you do and all that. Is either you take excuse, you come for your rehearsal, maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, just get an understanding of the song, get your uniform ready and all that, and you go. So this I'm saying it now, it's not easy as I'm saying it too, because there are some days when you have to be there at the event from morning till night so that nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
But over time you begin to you have built structures around, that you have a manager, because I have a manager. I have someone who oversees a lot of things when I'm not around. I have someone, I've been traveling a lot, so I have somebody holding down the team when I'm not there. So if I'm not in the country, if I'm not in Lagos or wherever, and we have an event, I'm relating with the clients, my clients, I'm relating with the manager and all that. So that's how we do it, vice versa.
Wow.
So priority.
Wow.
I'll need to switch to the other phone. Yeah, please just permit me to switch to my other phone. I'll join
Okay.
you right.
That means I have to remove you and bring you back again, right?
I'm not sure you need to.
Okay, then just send a request.
Let me
I'll
just
accept.
go off. Yeah, let me just go off.
Okay. Okay, sorry all. Please just give her a little time. She will come back immediately. It's been an amazing time here. I must say, like, I don't even want the session to end, but um, we can't live here forever. It's been an interesting session, I must say. It's been an inspiring session as well. It's been a reality session, which is the brain behind everything for which I started this event. Okay, where people are real, they tell you as it is, so that you understand that the glory people are. Uh, the glory you feel people are dancing on today, there was a place of birthing. And if you followed all through, when she started, you will be able to understand that every great thing in life, it doesn't just come like this. No, there is a place for birthing things, okay? And it takes dedication, it takes passion, it takes determination for those things, to be made reality. Okay, just a little. little moment. Thank you to everyone who has joined. Like, I forgot to even say a big thank you to everyone who has joined so far. While we wait for, okay, she's here. Okay, sorry about that.
No, let's not go.
Sorry. Sorry, I have taken a whole lot of your time today.
Okay. Sorry, I've been busy on my phone and I've had a lot of meetings today, so I haven't charged. So I had to use the other one. It was already telling me it's about to shut down.
It's fine.
So where were we? We're talking about
How you manage church activities.
yeah. So I think I've answered that question.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay, so in general, I always ask this question. Do you regret starting PMAC concepts? Do you have any answer? Yes, when I ask this question at times, people are like, why are you asking me this type of question? But we need to know if you're giving, despite all the challenges, let's not even talk about the connections you must have made, okay? But let's look at it from the challenges you faced so far. If you're given a chance, okay, to do this again, will you do it? Do you have any outcome of regret? Has there been a time where you just said, I regret doing this?
Well, there have been times when I said, man, are you sure I can last? There have been times when awful things have happened in event industry. Awful things have happened. I've gotten very negative reviews from clients.
Wow.
That has taught me a lot. My experiences in the last 4 years, over 4 years, has taught me a lot. And so when those experiences are happening, you just be like, I regret accepting this brief. Which kind of windy clients do this? Sometimes I'll be like, this client, devil sent this client. Sometimes I'll be like, this is not worth it. So there've been room for regret. But generally, starting up my company, I do not regret. I think that it happened at the right time. I don't think that I started very early. I don't think I started very late. I think that the time that I launched out PMA was the perfect time. I did it afraid. I started out afraid. I did it very scared. I did it hoping that there would be a miracle someday, and it happened a few years down the line. So yeah. I don't regret. I don't regret setting up my business, but there've been rooms for regret. But I don't regret generally.
Okay, thank you so much. Any final words before we call it a day? Today has been amazing.
Words. So I would say that I would say that life three words that summarizes life. 3 words. It goes on. Life goes on. Regardless of what might have happened, in the past, life would always go on. When God was creating every one of us, He didn't create us because He was bored in heaven and wanted to test statistic skill. He created us with every form of intentionality. God was deliberate in creating. And when He created us, He created each and every one of us with a unique purpose. You might be an event planner, I might also be an event planner, but there's a distinguishing factor.
Exactly.
There's a distinct factor. There's something that differentiates me from you. And the earlier young people realize what it is, what their purpose is in life, the easier life will be for them, because a lot of people right now I realized that under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
The pressure to belong, the pressure to meet up with their timeline and destiny. It is not your job to meet up with timeline and destiny. Leave that one for God. The most important thing you should focus on is, why was I created? Who am I? Start from there first. Who am I? Because a lot of people are having identity crisis. They don't even know who they are. And that is why the devil is big on giving a lot of people a version of lies, a version of things that are not it. So we need to go back to the drawing board. And the drawing board is going back to your creator. That is where you're going to get a clear-cut understanding of what your purpose is in life. I told you how I got mine. And when I got mine, every other thing aligned. Did it start out nice? No. I mean, I'm not even giving you a full summary of what has happened in 5 years. It's been hell, heaven, hell. It's been sweet, it's been good, it's a bad, very ugly. But all of these things have shaped me, has made me tougher, and that is why I'm even able to share my experience with the world. So my advice and my take home from everything we've discussed today is, number one, consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, I already said, find your purpose. Find your purpose. Stay on it. Stay on God. It will come. And your purpose doesn't have to be you. So I started off by saying, you don't have to be a business owner to fulfill purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be called CEO, lady, whatever, apostle, whatever, to fulfill purpose.
It's true.
You don't have to have a title to fulfill purpose. All you have to do is to be a person of value. Value to the kingdom and value to your world. That's all. You can be a 9 to 5. Be a 9 to 5, or you can be going to work every day 9 to 5. You're fulfilling purpose in your 9 to 5. Because why? Number one, aside from the fact that God has given you such a creative gift where you're able to share your gift with the world. Another thing is, you're a person of value. They are paying you because you carry value.
Yes.
That is purpose. And in that little corner, you're shining your light in your office. So don't just stop at being a 9 to 5er. What else can you do that points back to the kingdom? Don't just show people how you got here. Show them who brought you here. So everything that you're doing, have a way to tie it down to reflecting God's glory. And the kingdom is so important, because a lot of people leave that one. They leave that aspect. Oh, I'm already a big woman. Oh, I already have an office. I already have an event. Blah, blah, blah. So how is this thing affecting heaven now? This thing that you're doing. If somebody comes to me and asks me, how is this of an impact or of great value to the kingdom? It's very simple. In a way, I've been able to curb decency.
Yeah.
The people that I hire are now running with a vision in their head. They know it's not just about your body or your duty or your physique. There's more to it, and there's more that can be done. Don't just be a fine girl for nothing. Be a fine girl for Jesus. At every event you go to, let people know that, hey, this one is Jesus girl, that Jesus woman, My client for the 12th reached out to me yesterday or 2 days ago and told me, oh ma, I'm so scared. My wedding is in a few days, and look at what is happening in the country. Oh, will people come? Will people spray me money? Will people do this? I think this was a wrong time. I shouldn't have put my wedding. I said, that is the thing about God. If He shows you the full picture, some of us would have dumped our purpose in life and ran away from the kitchen. But He takes you into the kitchen, you're soiling your hand with flour. He takes you through every process, and then before you know it, your beautiful cake is ready. So I just assured her, I promise you, you are where God wants you to be at this particular time. Your wedding is holding now that God wants it to hold. Don't shift it again for anything. It will end in praise. And that was it. And the next day, she took it to her social media. Hey, your event planner can never, and all of those things. I saw it, I smiled. And she said, I'm so glad I came to you. I knew that it was beyond money. that you have a relationship. When she said it to me, it hit me hard. It was beyond money. That was all that I needed to hear that day to make my day. So in your little corner, shine your light. So find your purpose. Your purpose is your why. Now, this is something that I say all the time. If you find purpose, you have found why you are alive. You have found your reason for existence. So when the devil comes with you, because those setbacks will come, it will never always be rosy. Never. There will be challenges you're going to have on the way. But the discovery of your why is what keeps you going. You know why you're doing this. You know what God has shown you. There are times where I'm not in the mood to come on social media or say anything. It was very easy for me to tell you, I'm so sorry, Princess, I'm tired today. I've had a lot of meetings today. And I'm not even at home. I'm making this. The sacrifice that I made to do this was enough reason for me not to do it. I'm not in my house. I have to call someone to bring me a tripod stand, bring me a light, bring me a lot of things just to do this. Because I know this is purpose. I'll find joy. I take joy in giving back. Right. I take joy in giving back to people. They might not be so much on this call, on this live session at the moment, but I know as soon as this is over, millions will reach out, millions will watch this, and they will be blessed. Yeah. So your why is what keeps you going. I'm exhausted, but my why is, why did I start this in the first place? Why am I doing this? What has God said about my future? Who needs to hear from me today? Who needs to hear this story and know, babe, I cannot give up. Precious has done it, so I'll do mine too. So find purpose, find your why, and be consistent. Consistency is also another thing. It's a thief in the society. A lot of people think it's not rocket science. It's not miracle. Yes, miracle will retire Jesus, but Jesus is not a genie. Jesus is not a magician.
True.
What he does is he multiplies what already exists. He sees, he discovers, he finds, oh, there's something here, and he adds to it. Jesus will not waste his miracle on something that is not of great profit to the kingdom. So if you say miracle will retire Jesus, and you are not doing the work, you now fold your house, miracle will retire Jesus. Every morning you sleep, you wake up, miracle, what God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist, and all of that. So that you're wasting your time. So get something to and be consistent, regardless of what it is. You're selling chin-chin, sell your chin-chin well. You're frying pop well. You're doing event planning, learn. Get a mentor. Learn from people. Do a survey, a research. Find out what your competitors are doing and do it better. That is what I don't think that I'm doing a spectacular thing in my events industry. I think that I'm just doing something that I copied from somebody and I'm doing it in my own way that makes it precious. So it's not new. Nothing is new. All things I'm doing is not new. They can get somebody else to do it even better, but I'm doing it in my way that makes me like the best. So that is all that I have to say. I believe that I've been able to speak to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, like you've spoken to me as well. Thank you so much. Like, how do I even thank you? Like, the fact that I had to drag you from your busy schedule to come here. Hey, thank you. God bless you. And it's a prayer that 2023 will be amazing for you. I mean, you would scale on top of heights you never dreamt of. You will go places. Every secret prayers you have made, every single secret challenge you must have had, it's a prayer that somehow the timing of the Lord will come around and it will become a testimony. So this is me saying thank you. And on behalf of everyone that came today, thank you so much for making our time to inspire all of us. We are most grateful. And we pray to see PIMA concepts going international, It's not a crime now if Joe Biden calls you to come and do declaration. It's not a crime now, eh? It's not a crime. So it's our prayer that international borders are opened for more deals to be sealed, in Jesus. So let's
Thank you
let you go
so much.
so that you
Thank
would rest,
you.
so that you take rest.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you for this opportunity, Princess. I'm grateful, very grateful. I don't take it for granted. Thank you
Me
for
too.
having me on this call. It's been a very interesting time, really. We've spoken for an hour, and I'm like,
An hour plus,
an
actually.
hour plus, and it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like it. It's been very interesting, and
Thank
thanks for what you're doing. I think that everything that you do every Sunday or every now and then, a lot of people are being blessed. And any day you see me start, I'll just feel that I'm copying you. You know, just know that you have inspired me, and I want to do something like this.
Bye.
And this is the nudge that I need. This is a sign that I also need to shine my light in my own
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. Thank you, sis.
All right. Have a great
You
day.
too. Have a lovely week. Okay, guys. I don't have anything to say. Please. Our guest has done more than noble today. So this is me saying thank you to everyone who came around today to join us. From the depth of my heart, I'm very, very grateful. And next Sunday, let me just give you the cruise for next Sunday. If you're looking at scholarships in the US and maybe you don't know how to apply, this is the topic we'll be handling next Sunday. The guest I'll be bringing is currently a graduate assistant in the US, and he got there through scholarship. So he'll be coming next Sunday to tell us all about that. So please don't let anyone tell you what will happen next Sunday. Be here live and make sure you invite every other person that you feel deserves such an opportunity to be here live next Sunday. I wish you a very lovely week. And it's my prayer that, oh, Tony, thank you so much for coming. Isaac, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. Thank you so much. It's my prayer that this week and the remaining part of 2023 would be amazing for you. From me and from every member of Video Signatures and History's Princess, this is me saying bye-bye.